I'm going to go ahead and close this window showing all the files, and these are going to make a nice package. I'm going to close NeuroGuide. Are you sure you want to quit NeuroGuide? I'll say yes. Save EEG session to file. Well, I've already done that, so I'm going to say no. Now I'm back to the beginning of my computer desktop. I'm going to go into Discovery, and the current folder is TV111, which is our training video. I'd like to email this to someone, and that's very easy to do. I simply go into Folder Selections, and this folder has currently been selected. I see it's TV111, training video. And I'm just going to press Session Librarian, and at that point it's going to take over for me. So this procedure will write an archive file for study TV111. You may then copy the archive to a floppy disk or email it to a recipient. So I'm going to say OK. Now the BrainMaster software is creating a BrainMaster Discovery zip file. And we're almost done. It says it's been created. All of the files have now been encrypted and packed into one nice file. Do you want a copy to the floppy disk or send it by email? Well, I'm going to say email because I'd like to mail this file off. So I press email. We're still in folder selections, and I've shown how the session librarian can be used to create a zip file, if you will, and email it off. I will point out that if we simply go to the Start menu and go to Computer, and go to the C drive, and go to BrainM.20, and then go to Archive D. That doesn't mean archived, it means archive discovery. And when I go into this Archive D directory, I see my TV111 BMZ file right there. It's dated and timed a couple minutes ago. It's a BMZD file, and I can see that it's 4.509 kilobytes, which is just about 4.5 megabytes. So that's the zip file that's been created locally for me using the session librarian. One other thing I might want to do is to copy all this information to another computer, which would be a server, and to erase it from the local disk to keep this local machine clean. As you can see, we don't have a lot of files here, and the reason for that has been that we do tend to keep our files on a secure server. So we will use our Session Genie to do that. And if I press Session Genie, I'm going to administer the Session Genie. I'm going to go into Administration. And I can see that there's a server, Badger BEC server. So there's a computer called Badger, and it has a directory BEC server. That stands for Brain Enrichment Center Server. This computer is in another location. It's across the building. And this is the server I want to use. So I'll press OK and exit the setup, and then I'm going to use this control here, push to server and delete folder. This will allow me to move all this data onto the server and to get rid of the local copy. So I press push to server, and then I hit create, and it has now created it, and I now want to push it to the server, and it says, do you want to delete the study? And I will say continue, and having done that, the file will have been pushed to the server. Okay, we've completed the study, and we've made a report and created various files. And now I'm going to show how to copy the files over to a server location, another computer at your facility, and to clear the files off of the local computer. When we go to folder selections, we see that this particular computer does not have a lot of folders. And the reason is we've moved them over to a server and deleted them from the local copy. So we're going to reselect our TV111, and I'm going to go to Administer Session Genie. And the Session Genie is what's going to do all this work. So I hit Administer Session Genie. I can create an archive, extract an archive, or administration, and I'm going to do administration right now. And I'm just checking to see the server root. And the server root is Badger, which is another computer in the building, and the file is called BEC server. So for example, if I hit browse, I will see that I can browse my network, and on my network I search for all the computers that are on that network, and when they come up, Badger will be one of them. And that's how you navigate basically to your network and get access to the different computers. There they all are. These are all the computers in our building. So we've already chosen Badger, so I'm just going to cancel here. I'm going to hit OK, close this box, and now I'm going to use push to server and delete folder. When I press push to server and delete folder, I get the file utility, and I can see that it's got a different file picked because it was used previously, and I'm going to change that file. So I hit change, and now I'm going to go ahead and pick TV111, and that's the folder that I want to send to the server. So I hit OK, and now TV111 has been chosen, and I'm going to click on Create to create the archive. Now all of the files are being archived, and as you can see, it's getting all the control files. There it is, archive tv111.bmzd created, very similar to the session librarian. And now I'm going to press server to tell the system to copy it to the server. Now it's begun copying all this file, this big file, to the server, and it's giving me the progress in bytes, and I'm getting a progress bar, and I've got 2 clicks on the progress bar, and we're just going to wait. This is going to take a certain amount of time to copy it because we're copying a large amount of information, and it's being copied in a secure fashion. We're finishing up writing the data to the server. You can see the progress is telling us the number of bytes copied. It's almost 4.2 megabytes, going on to 4.3 megabytes. When we get up to 4.5 megabytes, we'll have copied the file over. So it's being sent over the network to the other computer called Badger and put in a directory called BEC server. And we'll see that it'll be done shortly. And there it is. And the file's been copied, and now it says, do you want to delete the study? So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And are you sure you want to move this folder to the recycle bin? TV111. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to toss the folder, and now it's been deleted, and as you can see in our trainee study folder selections, the folder is now gone. I better pick another folder because the one that's gone was the one we were using, so I'm going to pick another one and close out. So the folder is now gone from our local computer. If someone walks up here, they're not going to find it. And I'm going to show you, if I go over to the network to my Badger BEC server, there's today's file, TV111, dated today, and it's dated just 1 minute ago. So this file has been copied over to the server for safekeeping, and we're now finished with the QEEG.